In this video, we're going to talk about list comprehensions. List comprehensions are a feature of Python that gives us a clean, concise way to create lists. A common use case would be when you need to create a list where each element is the result of some operations applied to each member of another sequence or iteratable object. The syntax for list comprehension is pretty similar to creating a list with the traditional square brackets. So it consists of a square brackets containing an expression followed by a for clause. First, let's take a look at a range method in Python. It's a built-in method which basically can generate a list for you. So I'm going to type L1 equal to range, and we can pass in a start and stop index. So I'll say start from 1 and go onwards 10. Let's save that, and I'm going to print it. So let me just print L1. Let's save the file. Let's press Ctrl+Shift+R to run it first time, and now we get the range 1 to 10. Now we can loop through this range, right? So I can say for x in L1 and then print x. Okay, let's save the file. Let's run it, and now we get to see 1 to 9. Okay. Let's say you want to create a list from 1 to 9. Declare a variable, let's just say numbers equal to, we create a square bracket syntax for a list, and then I'm going to type a variable num, and then we can use a for loop. So I'll say for num in range, and then I'll say 1 to, let's just say 10. Okay, let's print out numbers and see if we get the list or not. Let me save the file, run this, and there we go. We get the list from 1 to 9. So what's basically happening, it's looping through in range 1 to 10, and it skips the last value as we know already. So it stores that into num, and then that's get populated through this num variable. So this is how it's looping through and pushing the value into num. Now we can do a long way. So let me show you a bad way of doing this. If not many people, if the developers don't know, so I'll do numbers equal to empty, let me comment this out. Okay, so here we can use for x in a range. We can say 1 to 10. Then I can say numbers dot append x. Okay. Let's save that, and I'm going to print out numbers. Let's save that, and I'm going to run it, and you can see we get the similar result. But see the difference between doing all this versus this. Okay, which one is cooler? So you can do this by using append method, and you can also do that here with the range, and we can call it list comprehension. Okay, so that's what we can do. We can even use the if statement within the list. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm going to loop through here, and then we can even use the if statement. I can say num mod 2 equal to 0. So that's like an expression that I passed in. I'm gonna save it. Let's run it. Now we get to see 2 4. I was supposed to see 2 4. What's going on here? I'm going to change the value to 11 here, and then we can multiply 4 multiplied by 2. Okay, now let's run it. Oop, nothing's coming up. The reason for that is because we are not printing numbers. You see, being a developer, you forget things. So don't worry if you forget things or you get to the problem. You'll find a solution. So here we have 4, 16, 36, 64, 100. So it's like a power of num. So if I just get rid of this, let's save that and run it again. Now we get to see even numbers: 2, 6, 4, 10, 8, 10. Okay, now you can use for num in range, and you can use if and else clause there as well. We'll get to the stage where we'll start using these concepts into command line projects. So if these things are confusing to you, don't stress out, don't worry. We'll get to the stage where we start using, and I'm going to start explaining in the real world projects.